I told you, some of you preachers come here and tell us that blessed are the poor and they tell us that it's very difficult for a rich person to go to heaven as it is hard for a camel to get into the needle's eye. And they go on to tell us that man is the root of all evils. Friends, read your scriptures in context. Our father, Abraham, had 300 servants to his disposal. He was not a poor man. You go over to the man who is said to have had faith in all the East called Job. He was a rich man proper. And friends, my Father in heaven has silver and gold, and all the riches in this world belong to him. In fact, when he was creating me, as I showed you yesterday, he told me that you have been blessed. Go into the outer space. Go on the land and in the world below, because it belongs to you. This world was given to you as a steward and a manager to enjoy and benefit. But some of you languish in poverty, and instead of asking for bounties from the Father, you think that poverty should be enough for you to qualify for heaven. Poverty does not take anyone to heaven. Never think that by suffering, and some of you even go to an extent of thinking that if I fast and suffer and demonstrate before God, then He will have some grace upon me. God has never told you to go and suffer that pity will qualify you for bounties. He sends you to enjoy, because all belongs to our Father. At one time, Jesus comes and tells his people waiting, and says in John 10:10, the thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. But I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. That's why Christ came. In order that you may have life. A happy person in this world should be a Christian. Because even in his sorrow, a Christian can have hope and happiness and joy inside. Even amidst calamities, I can raise my head high, because the Bible tells me that weeping may endure for a night, but joy will ultimately come in the morning. A Christian should be able to know that there's no problem permanent. A Christian should know that there's no situation where I will go when God has not prepared the way. A Christian should be able to know that whatever the challenges, God will go there with me, because the Bible tells me that even in the shadow of death, He is there with you. And that is a Christian. That's the life of a Christian. The best thing you can do, young people, is to take a decision for God when you are still young, because you will never regret in life. And that decision, those of us who took them have lived on to enjoy the benefits of life. And we are not yet over, because greater things are yet to come. And that is not for me alone, but for all of us who choose to put our lives in the Lord when we are still young. And this is something you will never, ever regret. Peter was very talkative and very inquisitive. One time he goes over to Jesus Christ and asks him, "See, we have left all and followed you. What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for us? We left everything." I'm reading Mark 10:28 onwards. We have left everything to follow you. When people are going to parties, we don't go. But how are you going to benefit us? When people are doing this, it appears as if we are denied. It tells them you are in harvest, in planting season. It's not harvest yet. You are laying the foundation. It's not yet. And Jesus comes and tells him in verse 29, "Assuredly I say to you, there is no one who has left house, or brother, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my sake and for the gospel, 30, who shall not receive," how many folds? 100-fold now, in this time. Houses, brothers, sisters, mothers, children, and lands, with persecution, and in the age to come, eternal life. He's saying now, you receive 100-fold from what you left in this world. But then eternal life will be able to come. As Christians look forward to heaven to come, we also need to know that we can celebrate now. The psalmist, having lived through life and seen his experiences with God and looked at life, at the patterns of life and development of success and failure, he comes in Psalm 37 and gives us counsel and wisdom, which I want to share with you as we come to the close of this morning. Psalm 37, he comes in wisdom to share the gem with us. Verse 4 says, delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Friends, the Bible is simply saying, enjoy yourself in the Lord. The Bible is saying, find joy and happiness, because true joy and happiness is found in no one and nowhere but in the Lord. He said, find satisfaction and contentment nowhere but in the Lord. And when you do that, he says, he will give you the desires of your heart. And friends, the Bible is calling us to delight in who? To delight in who? You know, some people choose to delight not in the Lord, but in the things the Lord has created. And when they go to God, they go there not to delight in him, but in order to pull things out of him, in order that they may delight in those things. That is not a proper calculation. Delight yourself in the Lord, because in the Lord are those things that you're looking for. What is it that pulls you in this world? Where